Hello Dungeon Fighters, SamuraiLee here again, and today's tutorial is going to be about EX Reshpon, Village of Pain. In my personal opinion, Reshpon is the hardest of all the Requiem dungeons. This is mainly because this dungeon has the most gimmicks to keep track of. Oh my god, that really hurt! Wow, why am I getting damaged randomly? Jeez, what's going on? Urgh, I keep getting frozen. OMG, I awakened. Why did I die? If you're watching this video, you can probably also scratch your head in many of the rooms in this dungeon wondering why you're getting one-shotted or why you can't kill the enemies efficiently. Before we enter this dungeon, make sure you buy 100 or so bombs. You'll need it in some rooms of this dungeon. The first room is very straightforward. It has several melting knights that only have 2 attacks, one long range and one short range. They have super armor when they attack. The gimmick with this room is these knights can revive themselves after being killed if you do not inflict fire damage to their corpses. You only need to inflict fire in some way or form. It doesn't have to come from your weapon. You can use a bomb on their corpse or use a skill that does fire damage. Alternatively, you can imbue your weapon with fire attribute or use a weapon that has fire damage to incinerate the corpses. It is best to group these monsters together to save time and MP. If you hover around them or stay in a corner nearby, they'll gather in a large group and you can use strong skills to hit them all at once. Personally, I awaken in this room because of the high damage, but also because you really only need your awakenings at the 4th and 6th room or boss room. Rooms 2 and 3 are fairly easy and don't require your awakenings. By the time you reach the 4th room, your awakening will have recharged its cooldown, which is very much needed to defeat the 4th room. The second room has just one monster, a mini-boss named Sorcerer Nazalo. The gimmick here is with his casting bar on top of his head. If you can kill him before the bar fills, you can bypass the gimmick and enter the next room. If you cannot, he will summon 2 clones of himself. He only does this once. He cannot summon more clones after the first 2 clones. After he summons them, the clones summons gackles every so often. The gackles are monsters that throw vomit for long-range attacks or swing their clubs for short-range attacks that can launch you far away. Meanwhile, while those gackles are attacking you, Nazalo and his clones continue casting to spawn fire explosions on you, which can also burn you. They also sometimes heal themselves, but this is very minor. The most effective tactic for this room, if you cannot bypass the casting bar gimmick, is use the same tactic as the first room. Just group them together and use all your strong skills to hit them all at once. You may want to use super armor potions to prevent getting launched and thrown away. The third room is probably the easiest room out of this whole dungeon. It consists of several little Divols, which do not really have any strong damage compared to other monsters in this dungeon. The gimmick with this room is they like to jump and hang onto you to drain your HP. They also blow smoke as an attack that blinds you, reducing your vision. Another gimmick they have is similar to the first room in that when they die, you need to inflict fire damage to kill them. They also revive like the first room if left alone. Again, simply use any fire skill or your bombs or fire imbued attacks. When they become corpses, they leave a portal rift effect that does a lot of damage when you touch it. This only happens the first time they die. If they revive again and die again, the portals won't come out a second time. Best to just hit the corpses with fire damage from afar. From this point on, the next 3 rooms are exponentially harder. Hopefully your awakening has recharged its cooldown because you'll need it. Upon entering this room, you'll see the mini-boss Scarver devouring a corpse. You'll also notice slightly invisible enemies with white circles below them indicating their location. These are scavengers, and for the most part, they are just nuisances that get in your way and do not pose a huge threat. Once Scarver turns around, if you don't juggle him or keep him pinned, he will absorb all your buffs with an attack and instantly gain huge defense. If you continue trying to rebuff, he will continue to absorb and hurt you. Keep in mind any weapons, gears, or titles that gives buffs based on attacking will also cause him to attack you and absorb your buffs. Once Scarver reaches low HP, he will run towards a scavenger and kill it to regain his full HP. He will keep doing this as long as any scavengers are still in the room, so it is best to kill all the scavengers before going for Scarver. Scarver also causes huge bleed effects when attacking. It can easily drain your HP fast. He also has a knockdown effect when he gets up, so Super Armor Potion will help to keep you juggling him without worrying him knocking you down. If you cannot continue juggling Scarver or keep him pinned, you'll have to resort to killing all the scavengers and slowly kill him without using any buffs. With his higher defense from absorbing your buffs and your weakened state, this can take at least 10 minutes to finish this room. So there are two main tactics against Scarver. One is enter the room with all your buffs and keep him pinned or juggled. This can kill him fast because he has no time to absorb your buffs. If you cannot kill him with juggles when you enter, the second tactic is to enter the room with no buffs so he can't absorb any of them, and go about killing the scavengers one by one, then focusing on Scarver. If you are in a party, you can probably all enter the room buffed and keep him pinned or juggled without worrying about him absorbing your buffs. The fifth room consists of two mini-bosses. One is named Duke Agonis and one is named Covetous Dumpherion. For the purposes of this tutorial, I will show them by themselves to explain easier. Let's start with the simpler one, Dumpherion. Dumpherion is the purple ghost that has no timer bar on top of his head. The gimmick with him is he casts a room-wide effect that swaps his HP with yours if you solo. This isn't dangerous for the most part if you come in with full HP, because you two will just swap full HP, so there's not much change in your HP. But once you get his HP low and he casts the skill, you'll end up with the low HP and he'll have your high HP. You can instantly die from one hit if you don't heal if this happens. If you are in the party, I think Dumpherion will swap HP around between members, so some will get their teammates' HP. Best way to fight Dumpherion is to let him swap to low HP and attack him with one or two skills to kill him instantly. The second ghost, the harder one, is Duke Agonis. The gimmick with him is that he has a timer bar on top of his head, very similar to the Aegis Knights in King's Ruins, but the colors are red versus yellow. When he is in red aura or outline, he only accepts damage from ranged attacks. It doesn't matter if it's physical or magic. When he is in yellow aura or outline, he only accepts damage from melee attacks or close range hits. Again, it doesn't matter if it's magic or physical. If you hit him in the wrong color, he doesn't regain HP or reflect damage, but he will give you a couple of high-level abnormal status effects that can stop you in your tracks and could kill you instantly if they stack, such as bleed and poison and burn. If you hit him on the wrong color based on your attack, you could end up frozen, petrified, immobilized, etc. You should also keep in mind that some moves of your character does both ranged attacks and physical attacks. Just now does melee at first, but does ranged at the latter portion of the attack. Thus I get statuses inflicted on me. Awakenings also need to be checked whether they do ranged or physical or both. You can be stopped mid-awakening and not even get any significant damage in. An important note to remember is immortality formula won't help in this room because you will still get poisoned and bleed when hitting him at the wrong color. Him changing color is the most dangerous gimmick about him. Some other gimmicks of his include teleporting behind you and opening a small rift portal that has a vacuum effect and inflicts lots of damage. You can easily run away to avoid hits when this happens. I don't suggest you try to muscle your way to killing Agonis. He can easily kill you with a combo of all status effects at once. Best tactic is to be patient and just use short skills through each cycle color. It will take a while, but it'll help you survive. Best strategy to fight both Agonis and Dumpherion together is not do anything and let Dumpherion swap HP with you while you are at low HP. That way, you will be near full HP and he will be close to dying, and you just need a skill or two to kill him at this point. Then you only have Agonis to focus on, and it will just take patience cycling through his colors. The final room is the boss room where Delezie is at. Upon entering the room, you'll notice some text in the middle of the screen. The text is a gimmick that is telling you to move west or east, basically left or right. If it says wind blows west, you need to move opposite of that direction or to the right of Delezie. If it says east, move to the left of Delezie. If you stay at the wrong side of Delezie long enough, the skull counters on the top of your head will turn you into a zombie. It takes around 5 to 6 skull counters to turn you into a zombie temporarily for 5 to 10 seconds. After that amount of time, you turn back normal. If you are a zombie, you don't take any damage from enemies in the room, but your own skills or your party members can hurt you while you are a zombie. If you are a zombie, you can kill yourself by accident if you do not pay attention. You can avoid this by always reading the text and running to the opposite side of Delezie. If you are in a party, make sure party members know if someone turned into a zombie and cease attacking, otherwise they could end up wiping out the entire party. The small Delezie fragments that she shoots out do not pose a threat to you. They are there to increase the poison rate and the zombie counter rate. You can kill them if you want or ignore them. If you follow the rules of this gimmick, you can easily ignore them and avoid becoming a zombie. Just heal every so often from the poison damage. Another gimmick of Delezie is she absorbs an element you inflict on her. She will do this whenever there is no element icon on top of her body. Once she has that element icon on her, any damage from that element will drain your HP. It won't heal her, but it can easily kill you if you do enough damage. Any other elements during this time will hurt her. If you inflict neutral damage, basically non-elemental damage, she'll just gain high defense and super fast speed. You will need to make her absorb an element that you normally don't use and then attack her with some other element. Keep in mind some moves or weapons can inflict 2 or more elements, so if Delezie absorbs shadow and I inflict both water and shadow damage, she will drain my HP and I could die instantly. For classes that only do 1 elemental damage like Dark Templars or Nen Masters, I suggest you bring bombs or a weapon element to swap with. Some classes can use Ghost Slash or Demonic Slash or Nen Shot to make Delezie absorb that element and then attack her with a different element opposite from those skills. Occasionally, Delezie will turn into a Twister or Tornado. During this time, she cannot absorb an element and you can attack her normally. She cannot be grabbed out of this state and can knock you out of any of your moves even if you have super armor on. It doesn't hurt much unless you are cornered in a room and she gets multiple hits in. This tornado phase is the only time those small Delezie fragments get thrown into the room. This phase only lasts between 5 to 10 seconds. The tactic with this room is to focus on getting Delezie to absorb a useless element on your end and keep track of which side of Delezie to be on. If you can do these 2 things together and heal every so often, you can easily solo Delezie in a few minutes. Thank you for watching this video. Hope it helps, and if it did, hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel to see when my latest videos will get posted. Thank you again, and have fun playing DFO.